Except the middle one. Except this one.
No, we lit from the You're doing it both services. Did you get so lucky?
I guess.
Hard to say no.
No, at all. It's fun to be here. Different people.
Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, all right. My name is Nathan Haynes. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees here at UUCB. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Brunswick. We acknowledge that we gather as a community on the unceded lands of the Wabanaki Nations, which we now call Brunswick, Maine. Today is Tuesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve, 2024. Our minister, Reverend Dr. Karma Amos, will be leading this evening's service. Music will be performed by Will Bristol and the UUCB choir. In the interest of safety, please note there are 3 exits to the building. One is the door where you all came in the front of the building. A second is the door in the back of this room next to the AV booth. And a third door is in the back of the building through the Lifespan Spiritual Formation part of the building. As we begin the service today, please silence all personal devices, electronic devices. And once again, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Good evening. I'm Julie Dahmer, and for the chalice lighting, I'm going to read a poem by Rosemary Watola Traumer from Lullaby for the World. All the world is a manger, the snow-bright field and the parking lot, the quiet woods, the city smog, the cold alley and the garden bed, the streets of war, the river bend. Everywhere, a chance for what is holy to be born. And how do we treat this manger? And if a holy child were born here now, would we know? Would we see the signs of blessedness past the neon, through the smoke? How would we greet this holy child? All the world is a manger, and when will we remember every child born is holy?
Good evening. My name is Karma Amos. I use she, her pronouns, and it is my absolute delight to serve as the minister of this congregation and to welcome you again to our service on Christmas Eve. Isn't it lovely? I asked this question at our earlier service, and there was a lot of enthusiasm from the little kids, so I'm expecting the same. Isn't it lovely that we received the gift of snow just in time? I know I still have the enthusiasm of someone from away, but it's so lovely that the universe has blanketed our celebrations with just a little magic. Tonight, given the context of the world in which we live, it feels once again necessary to say a word of caution about the story that we tell tonight and the songs we sing. It also feels weird to say that we need a warning before celebrating Christmas. I'm reminded again of Annie Dillard, who said if we really paid attention to the message, we would come to church wearing crash helmets. Because it's a revolutionary story about the world being turned around, still challenging to us these many years later. There are storylines in the Christmas tale that might be quite vivid for us this year because it connects with contemporary places around the world that are in the news. We're going to hear place names like Bethlehem and Nazareth and Israel, which correspond to other places in the news, in the names of cities and towns right now, where there are people devastated by war. It feels important to acknowledge at the outset that the songs, the Israel that we sing about in our songs, is not the state of Israel we know today, nor its policies. And while we're on the topic of language, let me say that if you have sung Christmas carols your entire life long and have them memorized in your heart, you may see different words on our screen when we sing together. You will not be judged for lyrical accuracy. If someone sitting next to you sings different words, that's just fine. Sing with feeling. This is a night of mystery when we have another opportunity to experience the power of storytelling and the power of community. In many indigenous cultures, when a story is concluded, a phrase something like, "I don't know if it happened that way or not, but I know the story is true." Often those things are said to call our attention to the deeper truths beyond the details. So this story that we celebrate is a story about Jesus for sure. It is also a story about us. It is a story about hope. It is a story about the world as it's been known and as we long to see it transformed in the future. So welcome, friends, new and old. We are delighted that you've chosen to join us for Christmas. Let us open our hearts to the spirit of life and one another, that love may be truly present among us this night. If you would rise as you are able, in body or spirit, we'll sing our first carol, "O Come All Ye Faithful."
Hello, my name is Amy, and my family, the Kerber Marks family, is here to do the Advent lighting today. I have Sierra, Maya, Willow, and Chris with me. The season in Advent in Christian tradition is intentionally drawn out. It is an extended season of waiting, longing, and preparing the way for us to encounter and experience holiness in the world, in the people around us, and in our hearts. This year, our theme for this holiday season is presence. And as we light this last candle on the Advent wreath, we've been asked to share with you ways in which we are trying to be more present in this season.
Given that this is my last Christmas at home before I move away for college, I've made an effort to stay more present by putting away my phone and doing holiday crafts and activities with my family.
One thing I like to do to stay present is to focus on giving meaningful gifts rather than thinking about how much money I'm spending.
My favorite way to stay present is to make and decorate cookies with my family every holiday season.
For me, when I think about the season, I think about my Swedish grandfather and my English and Welsh grandmother and the music that they brought into their house every season where we would sing together. They'd have an annual party where everybody from my grandmother's nursery school would come back and we would sing Christmas carols together. We try to continue that by singing in our household and going caroling, which we did this year with you.
For me, this year, I've been reflecting a lot. My father recently had a medical crisis that really brought home to me the preciousness of life. And I think at the holidays, we can put a lot of pressure on ourselves and expectations for how things should go. So for this year, I'm just focusing on appreciating every moment, from the extra dishes, cleaning, the happy times we're laughing, kids all getting used to being in the same house again. It's all just wonderful, and I'm just trying to make sure I notice it.
Good evening. I'm Willow Whitehouse. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to read part of Luke's story of the birth of Jesus. In those days, a decree went out from Emperor Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration and was taken while Quirinius was governor of Syria. All went to their own towns to be registered. Joseph also went from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to the city of David called Bethlehem, because he was descended from the house and family of David. He went to be registered with Mary, to whom he was engaged and who was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for her to deliver her child. And she gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in bands of cloth and laid him in a manger because there was no place for them in the inn.
Good evening. My name is Reg Elwell, and not Steve Wood, as you know, but I'm pleased to present this story too from Luke 2. Now there were in the same country shepherds living out in the fields, keeping watch over their flock by night. And behold, an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were greatly afraid. Then the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which will be to all people. For there is born to you this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. And this will be the sign to you. You will find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger." And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward all." So it was, when the angels had gone away from them into heaven, that the shepherds said to one another, "Let us now go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has come to pass, which the Lord has made known to us." And they came with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the babe lying in a manger. Now when they had seen him, they made widely known the saying which was told them concerning the child. And all those who heard it marveled at those things which were told them by the shepherds. But Mary kept all these things and pondered them in her heart. Then the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they had heard and seen as it was told them.
I'll invite you to rise as you're able in body or spirit for our next carol, "It Came Upon the Midnight Clear."
Thank My name is Olga Scarapa. My pronouns are she and her. We stand with eyes towards the east, awaiting the rising of the star, and pray that love shall become flesh and dwell among us, and that compassion shall be born in human hearts. We celebrate the discovery of fact in the garment of legend. Let every cradle be visited by 3 good kings of faith, hope, and love. Then Christmas is with us always, and every birth among us is the birth of God, and every child is the Christ child, and every song is the song of angels. To celebrate Christmas is to say yes to the power of love to remake humankind. May we be renewed in the love which can save the world.
The choir will now present an anthem, Angel's Carol by John Rutter.
Thank you.
Did you notice that the choir sang a very sweet melodic lullaby about the killing of babies? Did you notice? Now, I mention that right from the get-go because it's as good as an example as any about the irony and the strangeness that lies at the heart of the Christmas stories. Lullabies, a genre of music meant to comfort babies, stop their cries, lull them to sleep, about the killing of innocents on a fairly mass scale. Now, if that kind of thing makes you go, hey, wait a minute, what the heck? Then you might be paying proper attention. You see, there's a tremendous amount of tension and danger in both of the canonical stories of Jesus' birth, as different as they are from one another. Almost as if that tension and danger is an essential part of them. As much as we have airbrushed the edges of manger scenes to make them glowy, fuzzy, soft, and sweet, this is not what the stories themselves describe. Far from it. The birth of Jesus is no Hallmark special. This is true in so many ways. This year, I'm drawn to focus on the perspective of Mary. For context, it's not been a great time for reproductive justice in the United States this year, in the last couple of years, and the rights of women around the world in different ways are under threat. So Mary's story may have some edge for us. I hope it does. I hope it does, because that's certainly some of what is intended by the story. But let me back up to a part of the story before the part we heard read. In Luke's story, when Mary first learns of her unintended pregnancy, one of the very first things she does is rush off to find somebody trustworthy to talk to. Like many of us who are experiencing something overwhelming, when we don't know what to do, Mary ran to someone who might know what she was going through and have some wisdom to apply. She ran to her cousin, Elizabeth, a much older woman who was herself in the midst of a very unusual pregnancy, what we would today call a geriatric pregnancy. And when Elizabeth saw Mary coming, she felt a little something, something. When she described it to Mary later, this is how she described it. She said that her baby had leapt for joy upon hearing Mary's greeting, which realistically probably sounded like a lot of breathless sobs at first. Can you imagine? We don't know exactly what Mary was thinking or what kind of worst-case scenarios she might have been rehearsing on her way there. But the story makes it reasonable to assume that Elizabeth played a crucial role in helping her to reframe her situation. Mary, overwhelmed, unwed, pregnant, about to be a public disgrace, did not hear Elizabeth say what too many women like Mary still hear today. Shame on you. What have you gotten yourself into? That was not the message. Elizabeth didn't even start listing all of the potential problems that this new development might cause. Somehow Elizabeth knew a deeper truth. And so she said to Mary, "Blessed are you, and blessed is that baby." I knew it immediately. Blessings on you for believing what God could make possible through you. And by some miracle, Mary let that blessing sink in. She began to believe Elizabeth. She began to see other possibilities in her situation. Some of the burden lifted and the fog began to clear. And then Mary, Luke's story says, began to sing. Now, it wasn't a new song she sang. It was an oldie but a goodie. Her song choice mattered a lot, and she chose to sing the song that one of her ancestors of the faith had sung in a similar situation, Hannah. Hannah, whose deepest disappointment in life was that she had not been able to raise a family. And then after so much trying and planning, long after she'd given up hope, she felt the miracle of new life taking shape in her. And she sang a song about justice, about the radical transformation of the world that she believed she and the new life in her would contribute towards manifesting. That's the song Mary chose to sing at this auspicious moment in her life. And as any of you who have ever made a playlist or a mixtape, as any of you know, song choice matters. Christian tradition entitles this song the Magnificat because it is a song about the expansion of a soul to magnify and give glory to something greater than us. But before you start thinking that it's a sweet song like John Rutter's Angel Carol, which we also sang, and wasn't it lovely? It is not that kind of song. Rather, it is a song about revolution, about the overturning of the status quo. Specifically, it is a song intended to disappoint and trouble every person of privilege. Those who have dependable shelter and ample food, those who are sitting proud and content in their positions of power, and all of the empires and armies of the world. This is the exact opposite of their victory song, because the song that Hannah and then Mary sang is a song for the poor, the outcast, for those who don't have a pot to cook in, for people in desperate need of actual help, and who are willing and able themselves to contribute to a more equitable society if obstacles could be removed and the way made clear for love and justice. Now, I don't know about you, but I think the world needs to hear that kind of Christmas song again. According to Luke, Mary stayed with Elizabeth for about 3 months before returning back for Jesus' birth. I like to think that included an extended jam session where this song came to life in her, giving her meaning and supplying her with the strength she needed for the days ahead. Mary knew that she needed that to live the life that had been given to her. After over 2,000 years of telling and retelling this story, our world is still characterized today by wars and rumors of wars, to use biblical language. Still tonight, displaced people huddle together in search of safety and shelter and warmth and love and community. Still, in too many places around the world, the lives of women and trans and non-binary people especially are at risk. Still, kings and rulers, either actual or wannabe, hoard wealth and power while others suffer and starve. Still, we languish, longing for the things that would make life better for all, for fairness, for shared resources, for compassion, for mercy. Still we come, despite all odds, with hope in our hearts that a new way can be made, that we, even us in our humanness, can be a part of bringing love to life. Will and I are literally going to sing Mary's song now, the Magnificat, and while we'll try to sing it sweetly, I want you to pay attention to the words that are anything but sweet. However, for those who know and feel deep down that the world needs to be turned upside down again, this is still a song of hope. So we invite you, whatever your gender or age or abilities, to imagine your vital role in giving birth to love, to liberation. What is the spirit of life longing to bring to birth in you, in us, in the world in 2025? sings of the God who brings new life to birth in me. My spirit soars on the wings of my God. All that I am sings of the God who brings new life to birth in me. My spirit soars on the wings of my God.
My soul gives glory to the God, rejoicing in God's saving love.
Who looks upon me in my state, and all the world will call me blessed.
For God works marvels in my sight,
and holy, holy is God's name. All that I am sings of the God who brings new life to birth in me. My spirit soars on the wings of my God.
God's mercy is from age to age on those who follow in love.
Whose arm is power and strength, and scatters all the proud of heart.
Who casts the mighty from their throne,
and raises up the lowly. All that I am sings of the God who brings new life to birth in me. My spirit soars on the wings of my God.
God feeds the starving with good things, the rich are left with empty hands.
Protecting all the faithful ones, remembering Israel with mercy.
The promise is known to those before,
and to their children forever. All that I am sings of the God who brings new life to birth in me. My spirit soars on the wings of my God.
On the
wings of my God. Will you rise as you are able and sing? What child is this?
With anthems sweet, while shepherds watch.
It is our tradition here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Brunswick to light candles in honor of the babies that have been born in our congregation or to those in extended family of our members and friends. And so we will do that tonight. We begin with a reading that is set to music from Sophia Lyon-Foss called For So the Children Come. And so we will sing and listen to the reading, and then we will light our candles.
Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing, a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Each night a child is born is a holy night.
For so the children come, and so they have been coming, always in the same way they come, created by our seeds, our souls, our love. No angels herald their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses. No wise ones see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind. Yet each night a child is born is a holy night. Parents sitting beside their children's crib feel glory in the sight of a new life beginning. They ask, where and how will this new life end?
The first baby that we honor by lighting a candle is João Leonardo Barbosa, born March 5th, 2024, and I think we'll see a picture soon. I know you want to see the picture, so we're waiting for the picture, right? The parents of João are Nell Britton and João Barbosa Neto.
The second child is Colette Sanger, born September 2024. Parents Neil Sanger and Nehemi DeRoche Sanger. Grandparents Olga Scarapa and Steve Hodge.
Are you feeling joyful just seeing those babies' pictures? I invite you to rise as you're able then, and let's sing Joy to the World.
This is the time in our service when we receive your offering to support our church. All cash, non-pledge offerings will be shared with this month's Charity with Soul. And this month, as the fifth, not quite Sunday, we share it. And I'm looking here to see if it says it exactly, but maybe
The
not.
Minister's Discretionary Fund.
Yes, thank you. Minister's Discretionary Fund. The offerings collected tonight will be used to assist individuals with immediate needs, such as assistance with housing, heating, food, medicine, and other necessities. So please give generously.
Some children see him lily white, the baby Jesus born this night. Some children see him lily white, with tresses soft and fair.
Some children see him bronzed and brown, the Lord of heaven to earth come down. Some children see him bronzed and brown, with dark and heavy hair.
Some children see him almond-eyed, this Savior whom we kneel beside. Some children see him almond-eyed, with skin of yellow hue. Some children see him dark as they, sweet Mary's child, to whom we pray. Some children see him dark as they, and they love him too. The children in each different place. We'll see the baby Jesus face, like theirs, but bright with heavenly grace, and filled with holy light. Oh, lay aside each earthly thing, and with thy heart as offering, come worship now the infant King. 'Tis love that's born tonight.
And please join me in the congregational response. May these offerings sustain and grow the work of this church, weaving a tapestry of love and action. Thank you.
My name is Tobin Cooney Calnan, and I use he, they pronouns. This reading is by Reverend M. Jade Kajer from Infleshed. Maybe it's as simple and as miraculous as this. Everything that makes life sacred is already here, waiting with joy and want, asking to be cherished, protected, nurtured, in community, queer and determined. What if the whole earth, the entire loving cosmos reaching for life and flourishing, is just asking us to stop looking elsewhere for what has always been within reach, asking us to pay attention to this holy place, all these sources of hope woven through all this beauty and gentle, wise power, completely at home in your flesh and mine and ours.
One of the most cherished rituals we engage this night is the kindling and sharing of light. You all have candles that are battery operated, and you can turn them on, not now, but in a moment, with a simple twist of the bottom. In just a moment, our choir is going to move to the sides of the congregation for our final carol medley. You can remain seated as they sing the Night of Silence. And then as the lights in the sanctuary come down around us, we invite you to turn on your lights, that together we might illumine and sustain hope for us and for all of the people around the world. As we transition into the well-known carol, Silent Night, we invite you to rise as you're able and join us in singing. Receive this blessing in the silence, in the darkness. This is a poem from John Rodell called So Many Poinsettias. I'm waiting for my coffee to brew this morning, and I'm sharing out loud with the Christmas spirits who are whisking all around my wish for us this season. My wish is for us to become kinder than we are political. Not every shovel our tongues produce are for digging war trenches. Some are for gardens. At your funeral, nobody will care how right you were, or how many mics or bombs you dropped. Everyone will just want to talk about how many poinsettia bushes you planted in foxholes. Oh, my love, the angel living in the bark of my Christmas tree tells me that your eulogy won't be about your politics, because nobody will remember them. Your eulogy will be about your kindness, and it will go on, and there will be so many poinsettias. Let us sing to one another our final blessing for the night. The words will appear on the screen. Go in peace and share some love with somebody.
So worried that was going to burn.